The cops are here! Alrighty, hello, fellow travelers, and welcome to the Hard Light Network. Today's our first stream, very first, in a hopefully a long series. Today we're going to be covering first-person shooters, and we're going to be joined by our fellow traveler, GurillaTodzilla. We're going to be talking about the genre as a whole. We're going to be talking about the industry and its connections to the military-industrial complex, guys. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Our goal is to see if first-person shooters have peaked over the years. You know, there have been a lot of good games, a lot of solid experiences to come out of the industry, and it just seems like they've kind of hit some sort of ceiling as far as like how the mechanics can develop and the gameplay can develop. So we're gonna get into that, but before we do, we're gonna be playing a little bit of Crunker to kind of prove some of the points, and yeah, we're just going to let some people filter in while we play. And then about an hour in, around 9 o'clock, we're going to be joined by Todd. And then we'll get into the main event. So hope you guys have fun and enjoy what we got cooking for you guys tonight. So we're going to jump on over here to Crunker. It's free to play, a shooter online. It's crunker.io. Anybody can play. Anybody can join. It's super easy to get on and jump into a game. So that's what we're gonna do. When talking about if first-person shooters have, it's a team deathmatch. Okay, I'm trying to kill my own guy. When talking about if first-person shooters have peaked, you know, this is kind of what I mean. I mean, this game is the ultimate bare bones experience. There's not a whole lot that you really need out of this game. It's got the basic mechanics, the running, the gunning, jumping, crouching, aiming down sights. It's got headshots. It's got bunny hopping. It's got item collection. It's got little pop-ups. So really, you know, this game has pretty much everything you would want out of like a mainstream shooter. You know, it could satisfy the itch for Call of Duty players. You know, it's a fun experience. I mean, I'm having a good time. I'm not even that good at shooters, and I'm cleaning up over here, as you guys can see. It's a fun time. Oh, he got me. Yeah, I mean, you know, what else can you really expect out of a shooter? You know, I mean, apart from the graphics being, you know, Minecraft-esque. There's not really anything that you can say is bad, outside of, you know, obviously the supreme amount of advertising that they're doing. But hey, I can take that for a free experience. This game was introduced by a friend of mine, Wally. He's a friend of the channel. Check out wallyworld.net for your all your Wally World needs. He's got a cool show that he's got on YouTube here. It's Wally World episode 1 and 2 are out. So if you guys want to check that out, head over to Wally World's channel. And you'll see a little cameo of your boy, the Sapphire Scribe, in episode 2. But right now, we are freaking murdering. Oh, he was AFK. There's no joy to take it out of that. This sniper guy is really jacking me up, though. Man. You know, but back to my point about first-person shooters and all, you know. Outside of making this game photorealistic, I mean, I don't know how you could prove it. I'm not sure that the graphics is even like a big drawback. You know, the game is crisp. The models do exactly the job they need to. I mean, the player characters stand out with their name tags. So, I mean, it's not like there's too much of an issue with the character models blending in. I'd say that the mechanics are pretty balanced. I mean, I know I'm getting cleaned up on right now after I've talked all that garbage. But, no, I mean, for the most part, it's fairly balanced. All of the weapons are pretty fairly balanced. So, I mean, as a technical experience, this game really is on par with Call of Duty. I mean, I would challenge anybody to really tell me how Warzone is supposed to beat out on something like this when, you know, it's drop in, drop out. I can pick it up with less time and energy. And not only that, but there's also classes. There's skins. You know, I can invest as much as I want to in this experience, and I can get exactly what I want out of it. I can customize it, you know, however I want. Look at that. There's even ladders. I didn't even realize. So, you know, what does this game really need? Does this game really need a Nicki Minaj skin? Does this game really need photorealistic graphics? Does it need, you know, grappling hooks, wingsuits, parachutes? Does it need jet fighters for it to be a good experience? Because from where I'm sitting, you know, this game is perfectly fine. Yeah, it doesn't take any space on the PC. I'm streaming it. This is back in the golden age of games, you know, like back in the day, we used to have games that you could play like this all the time. You know, Bloons Tower Defense was a browser game at one point. I completely just jumped right off the edge. Bloons Tower Defense. I mean, Newgrounds used to be a gaming site, you know, before it was transitioned into NSFW content primarily. Used to be able to get some pretty cool games, flash games. And you're playing Worms. You know, not to say that, you know, Call of Duty doesn't have its own merits, obviously. It's the #1 shooter out there. So it's hard to really crap on it too much, but when it comes down to it, you know, what I'm saying is that these experiences offer plenty, and they really offer the core of what it means to have a first-person shooter. You know, this game is even more fast-paced, I would say, because of the size of the maps, you know, and the accessibility than a lot of the major AAA titles. I mean, you can spend a lot of times running around on the map doing nothing, and you know, not have a good time. You know, you can get to the end of a bunch of battle royale maps without seeing a single enemy. I've done that multiple times where I'll be playing PUBG or Fortnite, and whenever I'm ended up at the end of the game, I've maybe killed 1 or 2 people because people are just so far out, and I just picked the wrong area to drop. So, you know, in terms of interactivity and gameplay, it's a lot more fun to just drop right into a match and get immediately confronted with 5 or 6 people in a dogfight than, you know, have to run around and be lost the entire time. We're on another, Ooh, yeah. They thought I was playing, chat. You got me. But they thought I was playing, chat. They didn't know. They didn't realize. Your boy is a professional crunker player. Well, guys, I appreciate it. I hope you guys are having a good time so far. Reminder for the chat, we are going to be doing the main event here in about 40 minutes. We're going to switch over to talking a little bit more about the industry. I've got some clips for you guys. I've got some notes that I've taken down for you guys. Stuff I want to cover. We're going to talk a little bit about Metal Gear. We're going to talk about Hideo Kojima, the genius behind Metal Gear. We're going to talk about the industry as a whole, more so than I'm doing now. You know, I'm kind of touching on a little bit of the conversation right now, but we've got a lot to go on by the end of the night. So we're just trying to chill out and have a good time right now. We're going to rack up a few more kills for the team here. I don't know what team I'm on. I don't know if I'm on white team or red team. I was just talking all that mess about he never lost. And I'm all over here lost. Boy had a knife, was coming for me. Dang. That's alright. The teammates cleaned up. I think we're chilling. I think we are red team. I'm not sure. I believe so, to tell you the truth. I don't think we're cleaning up, actually, now. Now that I think about it, I am probably feeding them kills. Yeah, tell you the truth. Anybody wants to join, we'll put together some Crunker matches. I know we can get Wally in here at some point or another. I know we can get our boy... maybe we can get Todd in here. I don't know if he's got a laptop that can handle this. Maybe your boy Justin can jump up in here. We'll figure it out one way or another. We'll have some exhibition matches of the old Crunker. I'm getting friggin' demolished. Bruh. The dude has 92,000 kills. What is this? The boy is the real Crunker professional. Uh-oh. Team death. I've seen it. Okay, we are white team. Okay, we were doing okay before I started sucking hard. I don't even really care, to tell you the truth. I'm just having a good time. Your boy Player 6 with his 92,553 kills is really trying hard. He is the sweatiest Crunker player. I should have known. He's got his freaking neon cape. Why would you mess with the guy with the pink and yellow neon cape? He's like a freaking superhero. Oh, he's got the FAMAS. That might explain it. Look at this. 4-9. That's not as bad as I thought I was doing. If I was playing with Wings of Redemption, he'd be screaming at me about my KDR right now. Let's run it. Let's run it. Let's avoid, gentlemen. Get your eye trackers out. We're gonna avoid the hentai temptresses. We're trying to make our way to the Citadel free for all. We're gonna see if we can do better. We weren't that bad. We were only what, 5 or 6 points away from the last match. Maybe I can do some damage here on the Citadel. This is a sick map. I actually am having a good time here. This guy really is trying hard. Bunny hopping, jumping around. Oops. Ooh, baby. Alright, I'm going to put up a fight this time. I'm not going to let him just take it. Yeah. Whoop. Never mind. Ran right into it. On the reload. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Oh! We're running it. Come on, guys. We can do it. We got to pull one job out of this. Oh, my arch nemesis. Player 1. He for sure is, bro. He was the crunker player to get player 1 as the name tag. He's just over here healing. He lined it up for player 6. That was all. We're chilling, fellas. Thank you guys for watching tonight. We're gonna have a good night. We're making our way downtown, walking fast. Oh, bro, this guy is murking me. He's following me around. He must be the only explanation. Stream sniping. That's the only way. He came right to me. You saw. Chat, you saw. That was the evidence. That was all we needed. Kills me, then immediately comes to my spawn and kills me again. I find it hard to believe it's pretty true. You see how he expertly set up that death box? Jeez, player 4. You gotta help a homie out here. Alright, we're trying to whoop on this guy. Bring it on. Oh man. 191 nukes, my dude. What in the world? Okay, this guy's really the one that's doing the The other player 1 is the real screen sniper here. What is this? Some sort of object? I was claiming that. I was claiming that package, homie. That was grimy how you just did me. Ah! What is this? Ew! Golly! This sweaty freaking guy right here. Chat, you cannot allow this to happen to me. You have to join. You have to put an end to this guy's streak. It's just ugly. Yeah! Yeah! Ozzy, I can hang out. I can do a little bit of hanging, fellas. I'm not completely useless in these games. Ah, except for against Cyber Dragon 69 apparently. Tropicano. Run the Tropicano match. Your boy doesn't want to do party, whatever. Never mind, that's fine. I can do classic free for all with your homie. All right, fellas, we're back at the Crunker main menu. Apparently, jump right in though. No load times, no queues. Better than your AAA experience. To tell you the God honest truth. You know how is it that Call of Duty requires 600 gigabytes. I have 20 minutes of waiting around in queue. I know I'm exaggerating a little bit, but still, you get what I'm saying. It's a modern AAA experience, and this is just some browser game that I picked up. This is just some browser game I picked up, and you can jump right in. To tell you the truth, I wish first-person shooters were much more streamlined. I know that they're the biggest genre, and that's why we're going to be talking about them tonight. There's lots to say. When it comes down to the market itself, I don't feel like it's an issue of saturation. I just feel like everything's been done. I mentioned a little bit earlier, mechanically speaking, this game has everything that you need out of a first-person shooter. And the reason why I bring that up is because, first-person shooters have really been boiled down to these core components here. Running, gunning, first-person, hard scopes, iron sights, jumping, crouching, holding your breath, grenades, toxic chat. It's all there. But this evening, about 30 minutes. Reminder for chat, in about 30 minutes, we're going to be heading on over to the main event space. We're going to be putting an end to this game here for just a little bit. We'll jump back on in the end of the evening and take callers. I think it's just me and player 2 right now, homies. We're going to run it, though. We're going to see... We're going to let the best man win. Uh-oh. Got him. Yeah, see? Long shot. This is sick. It's fun. I mean, it feels like that's all the same dopamine that you would get out of a freaking sick Call of Duty play. It's all there. You know, stream number 1, as far as how I'm feeling right now, I'm feeling pretty good. You know, I wish there was a little bit more. You know, I wish, you know, I wish your boy had a little more comfort, a little bit more structure for this intro, but we're going to work on it. You know, notes, editorial notes here at the end. Definitely need to work on the ums and the ahs and the bros and the these. But I assume once I get more comfortable on camera, you know, that stuff will kind of fall into place. So, you know, I really appreciate everybody that has watched tonight. If I'm talking too much, it's because I'm trying to fill the empty space. I don't want there to be tons of gaps. I know that there's going to be some. I'm still trying. Don't want to drive off any of the watchers with repetitive nonsense. But, you know, like I said, it's a learning experience. But look at this, guys. You can get 50 free summons if you click on this limit break ad right here. But only if you click on this ad in my video. Ah, jeez. Let's run it. I'm changing. Oh, man, I have to register. I'm not doing that. I'm not registering. Ooh, player 3. That was raunchy. Why would you do that? He shot me through the wall, chat. I know you see it. I know you're going to see it here in a second. What's up? We got Lord Mast in the chat. Thanks for dropping by, homie. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. I appreciate you coming through, big homie. We're gonna get you on here at some point, bro. We gotta do like an art stream. I want to see how. I want to see. I want to see some of your art. I see you, bro. I see you. Hard Light Network. I see you, bro. Thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Shout out to Lord Mast in the chat. Real homie, day 1. Watching videos. He's in the stream chat. He's watching me get joinked on in freaking Crunker right now. Jeez Louise. Nice. I'm loving it. Thanks for driving up that interaction, bro. You're putting us through. You're making us into a professional stream. Like I was saying, bro, there's some editorial notes I was taking. I just want to get better. We're going to be doing more and more. I'm probably going to switch real fast. I'm going to switch to 1 stream a week probably instead of 2. It was ambitious. It was good, but until I figure out what I'm doing and I get a little more established, I should probably just take it a little easy. Lord Mast in the chat says, when I establish voices for my characters, I'm going to make all the British characters sing the national anthem. Which national anthem, bro? You going to make them sing the American national anthem or the British national anthem? Are they doing the Canadian national anthem, bro? All right, welcome to chat. It's filling up, guys. I appreciate you guys coming through. We are getting closer to our halfway mark for the stream. We're going to get into the main event here shortly in about 25 minutes, all right? So we're playing some Crunker right now. We're getting loosened up. People are going to filter in and out of the stream. But until then, we are just chilling. At about 9 o'clock, we should be joined by our fellow traveler, GurillaTodzilla. And we're going to be talking about the first-person shooter industry as a whole. So we got some stuff to cover this evening, guys. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. We're going to be going till hopefully about midnight. So you guys clear your schedules. Thank you for joining the stream. Remember to like and subscribe. You help us out a lot. Appreciate you guys jumping in the chat. Again, in the chat, we got Lord Mast in the chat. He says he's doing the American national anthem for his characters. That's funny, bro. Is there a explain the deep lore on that? Did America just take over in your universe? Is America the world power in your universe, bro? Oh, baby. Thanks for the 3 viewers, guys. That was some sick stuff. It jumped up to 3. A Mast in the chat says, is Durs Gorok a good orc name? If you're talking about Skyrim orcs, bro, I believe so. That sounds like a really good orc name. Check it out, guys. We got another 50 free summons. We're racking it up on the free summons tonight with the advertisement, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm killing it. I might start a gambling stream with how much good luck I'm having with these 50 summons. All right, team deathmatch. Let's run it. Yeah, boy. Capture the flag, baby. Boom. Run it. Dang, boy. Get it, boy. This is a fun game. This is a fun game. Mast in the chat says, no, making British characters sing the American anthem because they're British. Based. Can never flex on the British too much. Hard Light Network rule number 7. Can never flex on the British too much, guys. Always got to remind them every once in a while, periodically. You just got to let them know where they stand. Unfortunately, blue team is getting murked on right now. Maybe we can intercept the flag carrier right now. My team is trying to kill me. Bring it back to base, homie. What are you doing? All right, man. This is fun. I'm having a good time, guys. I hope you guys are having a good time tonight. We are chilling. It is Thursday evening. We are going to be moving the streams, though. Announcement. We are going to be moving the streams over to Wednesday evenings from now on. We're going to be doing 1 stream a week until I get more established, until I figure out what I'm doing a little bit better. We're doing 1 stream a week, Wednesday evenings, same time slot. We're going to be going from 8 to 12 every Wednesday, guys. The Monday music videos are still going hard. And the Friday features are going to be going as well. We got our first Friday feature coming up tomorrow. It's the sneak peek is have first-person shooters peaked, guys. So a little bit of what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to give you guys some examples in tomorrow's video. But the topic up for discussion is have first-person shooters peaked. You know, I really feel like the industry is kind of stale at this point. And, you know, I know it's popular. I know it's the biggest genre in the gaming industry. But that just means the conventions are strong, guys. It's you know, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Everybody drives a car, you know? So as far as like games and having made it, you know, the first-person shooters really are staples of the gaming industry. But I really genuinely feel like they've gotten as good as they're going to get. You know, outside of experiences like this, quick little one-off games that are just super fun to play with friends, you know, there's not really a whole lot more that I feel like the first-person shooters can really do to innovate. I think they've kind of hit a wall or a little bit of a ceiling maybe when it comes to, you know, innovating on mechanics and gameplay itself. You know, how much more? I mean, how much better can you get? If anybody wants to say in chat, you know, what could you add to a first-person shooter to make it better than, say, Call of Duty Warzone is now? I mean, it seems like even when they try to alter the formula from Call of Duty currently, it just ends up messing up the game. Like, I did not enjoy World War II as much as, you know, maybe some other people. I liked the original Call of Duties probably better than World War II. I think World War II broke a lot of the established gameplay mechanics, to tell you the truth. I prefer Warzone to World War II, even though World War II came out after Warzone. You know, I did not like Cold War, the Call of Duty Cold War game. It just did not hit me right. I didn't feel like, you know, it was worth playing. I feel like you're better off just sticking to Warzone and going with like the industry staple rather than, you know, messing around and you know, playing some of these games with like less balance. And it seems like they just cared less, honestly, about like games like Cold War than they did Warzone. You know, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm an idiot, but feel free to tell me in the chat. But I just genuinely don't believe that there was anywhere for the industry to go past this point. You know, we can add stronger narratives. Like that game Unrecord is probably going to be really cool. I'm not knocking it before it's even come out. The hyper-realism aspect is cool in and of itself, but it's a little bit of a gimmick. Because, I mean, how good does a game really need to look? I mean, consider this game. You know, this game is literally first-person shooter Minecraft, and it does just fine. It's a Roblox game that is configured for a browser experience. It's not that complex, but it's got everything that you need in it. So, where is the industry supposed to go? Because for me, the graphics argument just isn't as strong as it used to be. Man, I really appreciate Mast jumping in the chat. Mast is a shout out to the homie Mast, day one homie, always watching the videos, always posting in the Discord. And speaking of, you can find the link to the Discord in the description. If you guys want to join the chat, if you want a chance to call in later this evening, just hit that link in the Discord. And you'll see line up in the queue around about 11 o'clock. I'll start accepting callers. Once we finish with the main event, I'll load Crunker back up, and we'll start bringing callers into the chat. That being said, guys, we got about 15 minutes. Got about 15 minutes before we're hitting the main event. Reminder for chat. I appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys coming through. And I'm really excited for everything we've got prepared tonight. Let's find a way. We're going to have to find a way to stretch this out for the next 3 hours, though. Because there's quite a bit of content to go over. I'm really hoping that our fellow traveler Todd is able to jump in the chat, kind of give his background, give his expertise, talk about his experience with COD Mobile. I'm not super big in the mobile games department. I'm mostly a PC gamer, but I've heard that the COD Mobile is popping off pretty heavily, and I want to get his take because that ties back into what we're talking about the industry as a whole, and if there's anything the industry can do differently to sort of expand on the conventions, you know, and draw in players. You you know, when it comes to competing in the first person space, Call of Duty is really the titan, and I think it's harder to find examples like of games that you can really compete. You know, used to be Halo was a really strong competitor. Used to be Battlefield was a really strong competitor, but it just kind of feels like Call of Duty is just won out. Really, Halo has lost steam. I do not care for Infinite as much as I did Halo 1 through 3 or 1 through ODST. I did not enjoy 4, really. 4 is kind of where I personally fell off with the series. We got Lord Mast in the chat saying he's watching Tome. That's Terrain of Magical Expertise. That is it's OG YouTube animation. Terrain of Magical Expertise is one of the oldest animations I've ever seen on YouTube. I can't remember exactly how old. Well, maybe we'll check on it later in the chat. But if you guys are interested in something that's independently made, animation, kind of a cartoon anime style, Terrain of Magical Expertise is a unique experience, and it's pretty cool. Especially, I recommended it to Mast in the chat to kind of give him some inspiration on his artwork. But you guys should check it out too, because it's definitely worth supporting independent artists, and these guys have definitely gotten a lot better since they've started up their project. That being said, guys, in about 13 minutes, we are jumping over to the main event. We're going to be talking about first-person shooters this evening. We're going to be joined by our fellow traveler, GurillaTodzilla. We're going to be covering the first-person shooter genre. Our goal this evening is to find out if the first-person shooter genre has peaked. And we are definitely going to get into some meat and potatoes here. We're going to be talking about the first-person shooter genre's connections to the military-industrial complex. This is something that you guys might have not known a whole lot about, but it's something that from the very beginning I've been pretty aware of. I remember back in the day at school, I've got a experience that I'll share with you guys a little later on. Yeah, even when I was in high school, there was comparisons being drawn between the video gaming industry and the military. So in about 12 minutes, we're going to be switching gears from Crunker gameplay over to the main event this evening. So we're going to do just a few more matches here, guys. Let's run it. Thank you guys again for everybody that's stopped by this evening. I appreciate you guys so much. This is a new experience for the channel. It's a new experience for me. I've never done live streaming before. I tried it out once with a game called Crypt of the Necrodancer. It wasn't supposed to be a professional chat. I didn't structure any talking points around it. I didn't do anything special. It was just kind of a way for me to get a feel for OBS and the YouTube streaming as a whole. But I tried actually getting into the stream Tuesday evening. The original plan was that we were going to be streaming 2 nights a week. We were going to be doing Tuesdays and Thursday evening from 8 to 12. And it's a good idea. They're good time slots. It's definitely doable. It's not bad. But I think with me just starting out, not having as much experience doing the live streaming, and then on top of that, I had a bunch of technical difficulties preventing me from getting anywhere. I think it was probably just best to move it to 1 day a week until I'm more established. I know what I'm doing a little bit better. And then finally, I can bring you guys better content, because that's what it's really all about, Ultimately, first and foremost, I do want the content to entertain you guys. I wanted to give you something that you will enjoy, that you can carry into the future. I want to create a community where you guys can participate and have fun. I want you guys to be able to create your own artwork, be able to create your own videos and your own music. Really interact with the internet space and leave your mark. And while we're all doing that, hopefully along the way we can figure out how to make some professional level stuff and get recognized for the work. That's the goal. That's the dream eventually, right? We want to get monetized. We want to make something out of this. We want to see a real reward. We want to see real milestones for our work that we do here. And your boy just got the dub. I said we had to finish out on a dub tonight. I just got the dub for running around. I got the world's fastest runner. So, thankfully, rank number 1, 0 kills, 0 deaths, pacifist run. All right. Quick pacifist speed run of Crunker completed. Got the victory, 100%. Dub in the pocket right before we get off. So, I can die happy tonight. Stream, got the dub. Let's run it again. Maybe there's nobody in. Maybe there's just nobody in old Crunker right now. There's old police buddy hanging out at the stuffed bear stand. I don't know what he's guarding the teddy bears for. We got lots of police homies hanging out at the old base camp, but no enemies to conquer. I'm getting a little bit disillusioned. I was talking all that mess saying about how this game is really just the peak first-person experience. And now there's nobody here. There's nobody here to dunk on or get dunked on by. But, I mean, as far as level design goes, I mean, these guys really showed out, didn't they? They got a zoo. It's an aquarium. Hella cops. Unbelievable amount of cops. The ridiculous density of police officers at the zoo. Yeah, there you go, Lord Mast in the chat. You have no enemies. Absolutely true. Vinland Saga. Such a good anime. Such a good anime. For the people that talk about anime, check out Vinland Saga. It might change your mind. There's not a whole bunch of fan service. It's not a bunch of cringe degeneracy. It's a solid anime. With some very cool themes, for sure. It's historical as well. Exactly right. That's a Hard Light Network motto right there. I have no enemies, for sure. We definitely want to get through. We all want to come up. The rising tides raise all ships, guys. We can all make it. We can all come up. There's enough for everyone to eat, as they like to say. And I genuinely believe that. That's the big part of the reason why I started this channel. I believe that this can be something real. I believe that we can come up out of the slump, and I think that YouTube and the internet in general can help us do that. If we build this community right, if we get a lot of people in here that really believe in their own work as much as they believe in the stuff that I'm doing, we're gonna do so much. We're gonna go so far, and I'm not even just saying that. It's I know it sounds like a platitude, guys, but if you had any clue of a fraction of how much opportunity is out here on the internet, everyone genuinely would be doing it. The only thing is that you got to put in the work. You have to actually try. You have to structure it. You have to put in the elbow grease, because it's not gonna do itself. It's not gonna come around on its own. It's not gonna fall out of the sky into your lap. You really have to apply yourself. You have to get a little bit better every day. You have to do a little bit more every time. And, eventually you'll get to that point where you've got something big, and it'll be before you know it. Things will have a way of gradually building, and I'll be looking back on days like today when I've got just a handful of people in the chat, just a couple hundred subscribers on my channel, and I'm gonna think about it, in terms of wow, I've really come very far, and I know that's true because I've already feel that way. Almost 200 subscribers on the main channel as it is. I mean, I never thought that I would get to that point. I always believed in myself. I always knew that the opportunity was there. But it's different. It's different to have that confidence in yourself. It's different to have that belief in yourself and to see, the fruits of that labor kind of manifest in reality. I don't think we're going to be getting any more games of Crunker in. There are not enough homies in the matches. But we're only 5 minutes away from our main event here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit up our homie Todd real fast. Give me just a moment, guys. And we're going to see if we can move into... we're going to see if we can move into chat. We got about 4 minutes from the main event. We're going to be talking about... we're going to be joined by our fellow traveler, GurillaTodzilla, and we're going to be covering the FPS genre as a whole. We're going to be talking about first-person shooters, all your favorite first-person shooters: Call of Duty, Battlefield, Doom, Duke Nukem, Unreal Tournament. We're going to talk about all of them because there is some interesting stuff to know about the industries. For one, my main contention is that the industry has hit a bit of a peak. I don't think there's anywhere else for it to go. I don't think there's any more that anyone can do. But I think that, in terms of enjoyability, in terms of people playing the games, in terms of new first-person shooters coming out, I don't think it's over. I don't think the industry is going to collapse or anything. I just feel like the industry itself has hit a bit of a plateau. I don't think that we're going to be reaching too much greater heights. That being said, our goal this evening is to find out if that's true, if first-person shooters have indeed peaked. So I hope to present some information that'll kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. I've got some interesting stuff to talk about in terms of the funding of the industry, the structure of the industry, how it came about, and why maybe first-person shooters are actually as popular as they are. So, I appreciate you guys coming through. It is almost 9 o'clock. We're going to be starting the main event here shortly. Mast in the chat says, no one has any enemies. It's almost 9, and he's got a dip. Appreciate you coming through, big homie. Day one, shout out to Lord Mast. He's always in the chat. He's always in the Discord. He's always checking stuff out. I appreciate big homie. He's doing big things with his art. He's going to make it because he's in there doing it every single day. So you guys keep a lookout for him. He's going to be a big name. Appreciate you coming through the chat, bro. Yeah, guys, we're just a couple minutes away, so I'm getting real excited. We're going to figure out where GurillaTodzilla is. All right. We've got it figured out, homies. Todd is coming in 5 minutes. So, in just a few minutes here, we're going to be joined by our fellow traveler, GurillaTodzilla. And he's going to bring out his expertise on COD Mobile. We're going to be talking about COD Mobile. Going to have ourselves a very quick break. Short break real fast while we wait for Todd. To join the stream. Appreciate you guys for watching. Looking forward to even bigger, better stuff in the future, guys. Stream number 1, numero uno, inaugural stream. Had some technical difficulties with the first stream, but we're back at it with this stream. Killing it. Knocking it out of the park. Appreciate you guys big time. We're wrapping it up with Crunker. The game is fun, super chill. If you haven't checked it out already, you can at crunker.io. It's a free-to-play browser game. You guys can play with all your homies. Super easy, no charge, no fuss, no muss. So that's crunker.io. If you want to hang out and have a quick pickup game, no problem, no investment, no overhead cost. Thank you guys for checking out the stream. It is 9 o'clock. We're going to be switching gears over to our main event. We're going to be joined here shortly with our fellow traveler, GurillaTodzilla. We are covering the FPS genre. Our goal is to find out if the FPS games have peaked or not. And we just got finished playing about an hour of Crunker.io. What a fun experience. Fun game. A really good time, guys. Thank you guys again for checking out the stream. We're going to be doing more in the future. Like I said earlier, remind chat, we're changing the schedule. We're moving from Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're going to bring it down to just one stream per week. From Tuesdays and Thursdays to Wednesdays. We're going to be streaming every Wednesday from 8 to 12. Every single Wednesday from 8 to 12 Eastern Standard Time. I just figure right now, while we're getting started out, it's best to kind of get my legs under me, figure out how this thing works, figure out, which direction we want to take the channel. And then once we get a little more established, once we get a little bit of steam built up, then we can move on to multiple streams a week. But as of now, we're changing the schedule over to Music Mondays, music video every single Monday from yours truly. Wednesday, we're going to be streaming from 8 to 12 Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday. And then on Friday, we're going to have a Friday feature for you guys. Hot and ready, out of the oven. Friday feature. Just to kind of expand on some of the stuff that we talk about in the streams, and to give you guys something to look forward to at the end of the week. 15 to 20 minute video, give you something to end off the week with. That being said, guys, we are now shifting gears on over to our main broadcast. You guys are so cool for hanging out. Appreciate you big time. Looking forward for sure to even more. Alrighty. We're just waiting on our fella GurillaTodzilla. Remember, guys, if you wanted your chance to call in, just join the Discord. The link is in the description. And you guys can join in and have your chance to call in at the end of chat. We're going to be doing call-ins every single show. I want to give you guys a chance to get on the stream, get your voice out there. If you want to contribute to the show, then you can contribute to the show. There will be some evenings where we just do just chatting, so you guys can come in, bring whatever content you want, but that'll be apparent from the stream. So for the future reference, guys, if you want your chance to call into the show every single Wednesday from 11 to 12, we're going to be doing call-ins at the end of the show. That way you guys can get on and share your thoughts. All right, today we are covering the first-person shooter genre, guys. It's a big one. I've got a Friday feature coming out tomorrow. First-person shooters. We hit a point in the industry where first-person shooters just really don't have much left to offer. They've got the same stuff over and over. We've kind of hit the point where they can't look very much more real than they already do. There was a little bit of controversy kicked up, a little bit of dust up happened with a game titled Unrecord that's currently in development. If you guys haven't seen it, I did a video on my channel called Violence in Video Games. Happened at the end of Season 1. There was a few months back, there was a little bit of a dust up, a little bit of a drama in the gaming industry. People worried that that hyper-realism in video games is going to contribute to greater levels of violence in our young people. Kind of an old argument, but has never really had as strong a basis as it's had with the Unrecord game. Unrecord definitely looks incredible. It's graphically stunning. The post-processing, the visual effects, the character models, the animations, they're all incredible from the trailer. I know trailers tend to look a little bit nicer than the final product. But, when you're looking at this trailer, this game looks pretty realistic. It looks like a first-person shooter. It looks like something that, you might think is real. It looks like body cam footage. And that's really what's got people so bothered. That's what's got people so jacked up and scared, is that games are getting to the point where they're so realistic that they're going to start influencing people to behave a certain type of way. And if you saw my video, you know my take on that. But just kind of to rehash for chat here, I genuinely don't believe that first-person shooters or any other games, for that matter, have too much of a capacity to influence a person's behavior. I think that anybody who is able to be influenced by a video game is already susceptible to influence from other areas. I think someone that can have their mind changed to commit a crime as a result of playing a video game was probably open to suggestion as is. I think that person could probably be that person could probably end up committing a crime of their own volition, or with a little bit of suggestion from another person or from a movie. There's nothing out there that really says that there's a strong link psychologically between consuming violent media and participating in violent actions. Now, I think that violent people definitely have a tendency to consume violent media more frequently. I think they would. There's probably areas of their brain that are a little more active when they see violence in not just video games, but in movies and stuff. But I don't believe that the problem is so severe that we have to restrict the sale of video games any more than we already do. There's already rules in place to protect children against violent imagery, not just in games, but in movies and TV and stuff as well. I think that the standards are probably good where they're at. Personally, they're a little loose for me. Personally, I don't like seeing gratuitous levels of violence and gore, in horror movies or video games or anything like that. It's not something I seek out, but it's not something that I'm interested in prohibiting or restricting in any kind of way, because I feel like the artistic expression in video games is just as valid as artistic expression in any other form of media. That being said, connections to real life crimes and stuff like that happen as a result of, like, say, there's a pretty famous case back in the day of some little girls that went out and they killed a classmate of theirs because they saw the Slenderman stone hornets or marble hornets or whatever the original, the OG YouTube channel was for the Slenderman stuff. They caught a hold of the ARG for the Slenderman stuff, and it inspired them to commit a heinous and violent act because they wanted to appease the Slender Man. Two little girls stabbed a classmate of theirs to death. Unfortunately, I think that's just an instance of children just lying. I mean, if you look at the case, the girls had already been bullying this girl prior. There was a situation where these girls were not exactly nice beforehand. They probably were a little unhinged and psycho to begin with. So I really don't feel like games can be to blame for people's behavior. So we're going to be joined right here in just a couple minutes by our fellow traveler, GurillaTodzilla. He's a gamer. He plays COD Mobile, and he's got some interesting feedback for first-person shooters as a whole. He also is the co-host for the Intrigued Live channel. You guys can check them out on YouTube. I've appeared on their show multiple times. Check out them at Intrigue Live on YouTube, as well as on Discord. That being said, he's going to join us to talk about the first-person shooter genre. We're going to be covering the genre as a whole, as well as its potential connections to the military-industrial complex. Pretty crazy stuff. But Todd's in the chat now. We're going to go ahead and bring him in here in a second. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. And we're going to get right into it. I'm going to bring him on over. Alrighty. GurillaTodzilla, you are on the show. You are live on the show.
Hey, what's going on, bro? You got me?
Yeah. What's up, homie?
Hey, yeah, I was listening. we always have to dunk on the people across the pond.
Exactly.
Dunk on them as much as possible. How you doing? I'm doing great, bro. Blessed, totally blessed. Everything is going very well. How
Bro,
about yourself?
that's so good to hear, man. I'm chilling. Got rid of the technical difficulties. I figured out Discord was doubling up on my audio intake. But I got that straightened out. I got the pregame jitters dealt with. So your boy's feeling good. I'm ready to turn this into a regular thing, homie. I don't know if you saw earlier, but I think I'm gonna switch it to just Wednesday nights, every Wednesday night. So we'll be here streaming every Wednesday night from 8 to 12.
I'm down, bro. You know what I mean? You just let me know, and I'll shuffle things around, and I'll make sure I can get here. Yeah. What was that game you were playing? What
That's a
exactly was that?
that's Crunker.io. It's a game Wally showed me actually,
Okay.
but it's a
Shout
little
out to Wally.
yeah WallyWorld.net. Check out his stuff. But yeah, man. Crunker is just like a little browser game, bro. It's like a Roblox Minecraft first person shooter. It's drop in, drop out. It's super easy to get into and pick up, and the matches are only a few minutes long. But the reason why I was
Yes.
playing it is because I wanted to kind of. It ties back into tonight's topic about first person shooters because it's got all the core mechanics, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I was it kind of I mean, I guess there's really where can we go with first person shooters, right? So we had Doom, right? That was like the preeminent, right? The first person shooter technically, right? Where do we go from here? I mean, is it VR? VR first shooters? Like I don't know how we can get much more. I mean, I get so engrossed in the game, man. I can't even concentrate. Like I have to do it when the family's not around. You know what I mean? Because if they
Hmm.
try talking to me, I'm like, I'm not hearing anything they're saying. I'm totally engrossed, and then if I even die, I'm gonna blame them. So,
Yeah. No,
so you know what I mean? So
absolutely.
yeah,
And you know the fact that you brought up like the beginnings of the genre as well as like the hardware and stuff that's going to be involved. That's excellent because that ties right into the show. But I actually wanted to bring something up. I'm gonna go ahead and stream something for you to check out. We're gonna drop Crunker and we're gonna go over here to our first game. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. That's for you to check out, but stream can see me on my screen. So right here, I got the statistics for first-person shooters. It's really for the video game genres as a whole. But if you can check out the stream, you can see that shooters are right at the top. They've got the highest demographics across all age demographics. They are the most popular genre as a whole. And what's interesting to me from this here is that unrelated to the shooter stuff, well, not really, but I'm not surprised at the 40% battle royale for the 16 to 24-year-olds, and the fact that nobody over that age really is playing them. But I'm actually really surprised that like almost 20% of like League of Legends players are like retired. That's blowing my mind a little bit.
yeah. Well, can we? Since we're on battle royals, I'm an old head, and that's all I really play. So I don't know if you got time, like the backstory, how I got in, and I don't want people to laugh, but COD Mobile is my game I'm hooked on. I play Fortnite. I have a PlayStation 5, so anybody who's trying to like, it's I really just enjoy this game. And you can play it with the controller. Now I know there's a lot of people who are losing their crap right now hearing that, but there is such a genre of people playing this game at a high rate. I mean, listen, I'm good. I just pulled out a solo squads win tonight, battle royal, right? So I mean, I'm good, but I'm not great. I'm not cracked or anything. But yeah, the battle royals for me, and again, you're 20, 25 minutes in, you're pot committed, you don't want to lose. Yeah, so I'm surprised at those numbers of the age that older people are not playing more battle royals.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. I'm saying cap. I want to
Yeah.
recount on those numbers because I mean it's somebody should almost. I mean, I guess I could do it. The level of COD mobile play is just sick, dude. It's sick. And maybe it's because I've been playing it for 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? So I kind of like I love Fortnite. I love playing Call of Duty on the PlayStation, but it's a little slower on the PS4 and the PS5 than these mobile games. These mobile games are almost more Fortnite-ish, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're less tactical, like Call of Duty. What's the newest one out? Is it Modern? What is it? Call of Duty 4,
You talking about
Modern Warfighter.
yeah, the you talking about the newest one, or you just talking about like Warzone? Because like a
Well, you
Warzone is kind of like running parallel with all these.
Right. I see that they dropped that. That's free in the PlayStation Store. So I
Yeah.
downloaded that, started playing it, and it's now I'm behind on that. You know what I mean? So I don't want to take all the progress I have on Call of Duty Mobile and stop. And also, Call of Duty Mobile does huge amount of views. If you guys look on YouTube, you can look up Parker the Slayer. There's a few people, COD Narco. These people are pulling huge amounts of views on their YouTubes or YouTube shorts, and they're cracked. They're not playing with controllers either. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
But we are, and like I said, you only play against. Let me clarify too. You only play against people. So you're not playing against people who don't have controllers. They literally group you with every. So if you have a controller hooked up, or if anyone on your team has a controller hooked up, you play against people with controllers. So you're not playing against people who are not on controller. You know what I mean? So
Nice.
and yeah, and of course there's bots. You know what I mean? If you're in 100-man battle royal, probably 80 of those people are bots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
80 up to 100, and you got 20 real players. Probably 5 4-man teams. Probably. I don't know exactly what those statistics are. I should look at that. But anyway, so go ahead, go back. What else you got on those numbers there? I can kind of see them, but I got bad eyes. I'm old, so
Oh no, you're good, man.
I'm on my phone.
I just I was bringing them up mainly because if you look across all the age demographics, that shooters are the number one genre across all age demographics. So really, first person shooters are kind of synonymous with gaming as a whole. I mean, when you think about like games, that's like the first thing that comes to mind. Really, for a lot of people, is like Call of Duty.
Yeah, well, we had I mean I don't know, and you don't have to age docs, but I go back to the Atari days, like so from Atari 2600. I mean, we had Pitfall, we had Frogger, we had
Yeah.
games, and but those basic games, and why I would say they're different than first person shooters. So Pitfall, for example, you could go up, down, left, and right. That was it. That was you could swing on the little vine, you could jump, you could move around. But once Doom got in, and I'm just using Doom, right? Am I wrong about isn't Doom basically the first person shooter,
Bro,
right? That came out. It is kind of the holy grail, right? So
it really is. But the what's interesting is actually I was going to talk about that because I was under the impression that Duck Hunt was the very first like shooter game technically.
ooh, that's a very good point.
But
It kind of yeah.
but it actually isn't. I found out when doing the research for this. I can actually move to the next slide. Doing the research for this, I found out that a game called Maze War is actually technically the very first person shooter that was ever created. It came out in 1973.
What platform was that on? Like the Pong? What was that?
Yeah,
You
it was
know, or
like the old Commodore computers. Like I'm actually gonna pull up.
wow.
I'm gonna pull up a video right here right now for it. I'm still streaming on the same one, but this for everybody. This is Maze War. In on the original hardware, 1973. So shout out to our homies over here at Ultimate History of Video Games. Go check them out. Important archives. This is important stuff because this really is video game history. This is friggin' Maze War.
And it was the one of the first graphics computers. It's a vector graphics machine.
Oh
And it
yeah,
was the
and then you
machine that
shoot stuff.
Maze War was originally written for.
Oh, wait.
And we're playing Maze War right now as we speak with the other workstations down there.
It's right here.
This is us right there. Okay.
Oh, there was the bot there.
That's a bot there. You wait 2 seconds and you get shot.
I don't know where he was or where he went. The bot is right up there. He is. Oh, we're gonna die.
Got it.
Yeah, so that's Maze War.
Yo, I don't know what that is. I was thinking of something. There was something that came out on the Atari that was kind of like that. But no, I don't know what that is. I've never seen that. And again, I kind of pride myself. I mean, I wasn't born in 73, but close to it. You know what I mean? I am a 70s baby. So, and my dad, we had VCRs. We had all types of stuff. My dad was pretty tech savvy, as he soldered stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of one of those guys who would take stuff apart, was into all that stuff during that time. So that I don't remember that.
Isn't that crazy?
I had a Commodore 64. Yeah, I actually did. Wow. No, I'm trying to think what games were on the Commodore.
This is like back in the old like floppy disk game era, bro. Like way back when I mean, shoot, it was like 16 megabytes at most for like a whole game.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. And I remember Macintosh. I was in the 80s, and the Macintosh computer came out. I think Where in the World was Carmen Sandiego?
Ah, yeah.
Right? And which was a great game because you were immersed in it. You had to look up your little. What did they get? What was that? An almanac, right? What did you have to look at? They'd be like, yo, this country, right? And you'd have to track her ass down. Pretty cool from a learning perspective, I guess.
Yeah,
kept you engaged, But there was only like one computer in the whole school at that time. You know what I mean? The Macintosh was probably a huge investment for our school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
87, 80, whenever it came out. I don't want to be fact checked on that, but I'm sure it was in the late 80s. I'm pretty sure. I kind of remember being like 12, 13 years old.
One of the first games I ever played was the Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. I played it on. I got it out of a. It was back in the day when they freaking they put CD-ROM games in like cereal boxes, bro. You remember that?
Yeah, and it would be like vacuum sealed, so it'd be like very
like
hard.
Inside the box, like right in the front.
You'd get like Windows 95.
Yeah.
Inside, like yeah. Listen, subscribe, and it's so funny because I am not computer, and I don't know if anybody knows me. I am a caveman when it comes to tech, and eventually I'm going to get a laptop here, but I went like from in the Windows 95 area. I was in chat rooms. I was playing games online. Napster, right? We were downloading music. I mean, obviously, I never used that service. If anybody's listening, because I've never, downloaded, pirated anything in my life.
Exactly.
But allegedly, that's what people were doing, and But anyway, and now I don't know anything about tech, so it's just funny. But yeah, I do remember that you'd get them in like a box of Raisin Bran. You know what I mean? You get like
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It'd be hard back. You'd have to get the scissors out.
It was General Mills.
Had some kind of foil. Yeah, it was General Mills cereal. Yeah, Raisin Bran. Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
It was fun, man, because I got that game. I got what was another one? I got like there's like a Tonka truck game that I got out of there where it was like a whole construction game where you had to build like a city block. You use different vehicles for different jobs.
Man, I'm going to tell you, and I believe the game was called Red, and it's around this time in the 90s. It was a Command and Conquer game, and you would have trucks that went and mined stuff for you, emeralds or rubies, and then they would go out, and then people would attack those. And let me tell you, I forget what game it was. I think it was called Red Alert, something like that. There's a couple games that I'm looking for that I would almost be willing to buy the old systems just to play it.
Oh yeah.
Killer Instinct, that fighting game.
Yeah.
If you remember Killer Instinct.
I
It
do.
was on the, I think it was on the Nintendo 64.
And I think on
Okay.
PlayStation 2. The original
Yeah,
OG
it was on
PlayStation.
PlayStation. Yeah, PlayStation 2 was so good. Oh, the first you had Grand Theft Auto. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That was from a top view. Think about the first, you were looking at, and I mean, think about where that game has went. I guess is that technically a first person shooter? Because you
Nah.
can go in third person too.
Yeah, I would
So is that
classify that as more of like an adventure game, really,
right?
because of the third person element. I know you can switch back and forth, but like
Right.
I would classify that in like a similar way as like Tomb Raider, something like that, where it's more like your character is like navigating a world. You're going on like missions. It's there's a little bit of like a dress up element, because the how your character appears in the game takes more precedence. Because the first person shooters, the reason why I separated them is because they represent like a unique genre in and of themselves.
Right. And I did a little research for this too. And again, Call of Duty and Doom. I think there was Halo was on the list. I mean, there's a wide list of them, but I looked up the top ones. And I've never played Halo. A good friend of mine plays it religiously. You know what I mean? And he's like, up in the corner, left box,
Yeah.
they're pushing. You know what I mean? And they're calling off. I do call off numbers though. When you have that 360. So I'll be like, yo, they're at 205. And people are like, oh, and it really does help. You can literally just scroll to where, and Fortnite has the same thing, so it is cool. You know what I mean? So where you can tell where the shots are coming from and direct your shots appropriately. But I hate to derail, but I'm waiting for the new NCAA football to come out next year, and I am going to. I won't say call, because I work from home now, but I used to, when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, man, like there's been many days I didn't go to work because I was up all night playing Grand Theft Auto. You know what I mean? And also you could choose, like your adventure on that game would be different than mine. Because I might choose to do mission, you know what I mean? Because remember, it would present you with a few different ways to, hey, you could do this robbery this way, you could use the helicopter, or you could use the fire truck.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so your experience might be 100% different than mine.
Yeah.
In that game.
No, absolutely. To bring it back in, I wanted to show you, like, check out on the stream again. So this is Maze War. And real fast, like even here at the very, very beginning, so apparently this is historically speaking the first-person shooter that ever came out. But if you notice right here on the screen, bro, it's got the whole mini-map. Like even the mini-map mechanic goes all the way back to the very first-person shooter.
That's right there.
He pulls up his mini-map.
Okay.
And then he goes back into the game.
There was the bot.
Very sick. That's a prominent feature that shows up in Doom. It shows up in Pathways into Darkness. All of the Doom clones and stuff. Marathon, the original, the OG, in the Halo series before Halo was even a thing. There was a series called Marathon that Bungie came out with.
Oh yeah, the mini map is in COD. It is an integral part, and being able to navigate using the map, and of course knowing the map like the back of your hand as well helps. But also, so when you get dropped out of the plane, man, I don't even need to look where I'm landing. I could just mark it on the map and then follow that direction and land and then of course be looking. And so it adds an advantage, and I can look around and see who's coming down with me, who's landing. If somebody's landing on top of me, how many times that's a bad beat. When somebody lands right on top of you, and you get, right when you're landing, and you get knocked out there. I classify that as a bad beat. So, and sometimes you can wiggle your way out of it. So I'm gonna start dropping some videos on because I have a lot of. Like I said, I got that one tonight where I did solo squads. I got that captured, so
nice.
And made my legendary rank. So just hit legend. The grind to legendary was tough though this time, bro. Oh, the grind to legendary was real. The struggle was real, bro. But yeah, so the mini map is an integral part. I can't. What are they shooting with on this? Like, can you see the gun, or is it just something being projected and you're shooting at something in the map?
It just fires like a basic projectile. There's no gun. It just shoots like a basic projectile, like basically right at the center of the screen. And it's more about like timing. So like in this game, you're going through the maze, and there's a robot that's like also in the maze as well. And you
Yeah, I
have
heard him
to
say bot.
yeah, you have to find it, and then once you find him on the screen, if you see it and you don't shoot it, for if you wait 2 seconds before shooting it, it shoots you and kills you. So essentially, like you have to click first, basically. But it is technically the very first. But if you notice this, if I could put your attention back on the stream, this is what the OG original game's first graphics
There.
were.
To wait 2 seconds.
This is how it originally looked, and then imagine we went from here to this.
Playtime is over when Nikki drops in. Pull up in a monster automobile gangster. Bang, 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 bang. You could be the king, but watch the queen conquer.
The freaking Nicki Minaj skin.
Yo,
on
I
it.
will never play. I have probably 50 to 70 skins. I've never played with a woman's skin, and I never will. So I just won't. I'm that big. You know, I'm sorry to derail again. But the amount of women that are playing first-person shooters do you have that graph again? How does it separate, or does it only do age?
I don't know.
Because I would be willing to bet that the number of females playing first-person shooters is pretty probably a record. It's probably going to be a record every year going forward, because as more and more girls game, you know.
Let's see. It says U.S. It says 34% on this one. Statista, the same website. Yeah, 34% of U.S. shooter gaming audiences identify as female. So we got that.
Audience, or would that be considered? Yeah, audience.
Yeah,
Yeah, audience.
the gamers.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, the gamers. Wow, bro, didn't see that coming.
Yeah, you know, I mean, ages. Apparently, it's 18 to 64 too. So the whole demographic range, all the way
Listen,
up.
depending on how toxic I want to be, I won't even play if I hear a woman on there, dude. I will literally jump off, frag her. Like, yeah, I'm sorry,
Bro.
I'm
That
sure I
reminds
could
me.
report it. You know.
No, you're good, bro.
No, I
that
mean,
reminds me
in
of
the
this meme I
gameplay.
saw. I saw this meme of dudes like this. It was this chick playing some sort of I think it was Call of Duty, but she was just like she would come on the mic, and no, that was what it was. She put her phone number as her name in the game, and like dudes from the game were calling the phone number, and as soon as they found out it was a chick, they just hung up.
Yeah, and then she records all the interactions. Yeah. I think she was she good at the game though? Wasn't she actually
think she was
good
all
at the
right.
game?
I think
she was. Yeah, there's a listen, man. There's a couple of you know what I mean. I would hate to lose to a woman. I would hate to. But I don't think it's ever happened. Listen,
you might put down COD Mobile if you lost to a lady.
Listen, bro, I think I would have to. Yeah, no, you listen. You can get some very cool. I put it on all. I want to hear everybody. You know what I mean? I want to hear the people. I want to hear my team. I want to hear the other teams. You know, and you can select. You know who you want to hear too. So, I don't even want to shift gears, but I mean, I imagine like cartels and other people are probably using these games to communicate too. Like, you know, I'm sorry, that just ran through my head though. You know what I mean? Like, isn't there Star Wars games and stuff like that where you can have individual chats and you know what I'm saying? A bunch of people could get together and, you know, like you said. But anyway, sorry, that's just the you know, counterintelligence mind going. I can't help it.
No, you're good,
So yeah, so a lot of women are playing first person shooters, which is crazy, but yeah, they won't play with me. I refuse to.
Gamer moment, Sigma male.
Gamer moment. Yo, listen. It is like we got to be able to have our own thing. I don't know too much about Gamergate, but yeah, I've heard about that. I guess in 2016 there was some kind of scandal about gamer stuff.
Yeah, bro. All right, so oh man, we're getting into a little bit of history. That's fine. We got plenty of time. So Gamergate, that was big. It was about ethics in gaming journalism, right? That was like the big, tagline for the whole Gamergate thing. There was arguments that there were female gamers who were joining the space, right? And lots of males in the space were feeling like they were being unduly rewarded for their presence. Like there was some, I believe Zoe Quinn was like the biggest name, and I think she was actually directly accused of sleeping her way to the top, as far as like sleeping around and
it does change all the dynamics. Like we have to concede that if there's a room full of guys and a woman walks in, the dynamic of that room changes.
That's actually
true. We have to concede that. So I could imagine that there was some simping going on, a little bit of maybe letting her win, right? I don't know who this person is, so I'm not trying to like besmirch her. I'm just saying, like, I would imagine if she's attractive, that would be a real thing. Especially online,
Yeah, like, during Gamergate time, I think Zoe Quinn definitely hit that bar for a lot of people. She was definitely was more of an e-girl, gamer girl type than Anita Sarkeesian. She was the other big name at the time. Anita was confirmed not a gamer. There was like a whole joke thing where like she was trying to pass herself off as this like pro gamer, expert gamer. She had been around the block and done all this stuff. But somebody like traced a picture of her. She posted a picture of herself next to a giant pile of games. It was like 3 like huge stacks of games. It was like 120 games altogether, right? But somebody had tracked that stack of games, the exact same pile of games, to like a Facebook marketplace purchase. So she literally just bought a whole like load of games off somebody, like some garage sale post.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. Because when I was talking to somebody, remember I was talking to them about gaming, and I literally went and grabbed those games: the Madden 2013, NCAA 2014. I mean, I still have them. They're not compatible with the PlayStation 5, which is kind of weird. Thank you.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't the PlayStation 3 just play right on the 4? I mean, on a 5. It's weird, but
they
tells you the disc is not compatible. So
they did that with like the early generations too. Like PS2 was backwards compatible with some PlayStation games, and then PS3 they started like messing with that. I know that Xbox 360 also had a little bit of backwards compatibility too.
Yo, any of my gamers out there who remember a game called, it's not a first-person shooter, but one of the baddest motocross games ever. It's called Freak Style, and you could do a backwards 1020 backflip. Totally unrealistic game. The most unrealistic game ever. Your motorcycle had turbo boost, your four-wheeler. You know what I mean? You could do like a triple backflip on a four-wheeler and land it. But it was a great game, and you can't find it. Like, I would buy it right now through the PlayStation Store. It's not there. Very weird that there's none of these old games either. You would have to go get an old system to play it. You really would. You wouldn't be able to play it on the 5. It's kind of short-sighted by these game companies is what I'm getting at. Like, why they wouldn't just release the game now on the 5. Well, I would buy it.
It's like a built-in kind of like fail mechanism. Like it's like how they encourage you to buy new generations of phones. They like the old ones stop working as good as they used to. The software updates and all that. But
but that's what I'm saying. So why not sell it to me now on the 5? But I want that game. You know what I mean? Don't put new stuff. Don't just sell me that old game.
Yep.
But you know what I mean? I don't know, format, whatever you gotta do, nerds. You know what I mean? Like the nerd, I'm a jock. I don't know how to do that. Like, you're my guy, bro. You're gonna help me with OBS and stuff
exactly.
When the time comes once I grab the laptop. So I am so compute. Like, when I have to sign in for work, bro, I just click on and it goes. You know what I mean? It's a certain software we use. I just run when I have to run from there, dude. I've been on these iPhones and iPads so long. Boomer, man. I'm like a Facebook boomer. It's sad. It really is. It is sad. It is. But
No, man.
anyway, that's where we're at. But like I said, we're going to need an interactive course, a boot camp, a computer boot camp, laptop boot camp.
We'll get you hooked
Anyway,
up, bro.
yeah, I know we will. So anyway, back to the shooters. I'm always derailing too.
Oh, no, you're good, homie. We got plenty of time. We got Crizzy in the chat. Shout out to Crizzy in the chat. Thanks for
What's up,
hanging.
Crizzy?
Thanks for hanging, bro. But we're gonna yeah, we can pull it right back to this. There's something I actually wanted to show you. When you were talking about the hardware, you were talking about the hardware of games, how they kind of evolve, like where we're going to go next. I think it's interesting, to remember, like we were talking about, like the early games and the old stuff. But first-person shooters as a genre really had they were really born out of the arcades. I mean, you remember like the arcade cabinet shooters, the zombie games, the space games, the alien shooters.
Yeah, of course. Arcades were huge during our, you know what I mean? We, well, of course, Miss Pac-Man and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not really first-person shooter. But yeah, they started putting actual guns on the, like you said,
The light
like
guns,
they had
yep.
Duck Hunt. Yeah. They had Duck Hunt in there, and even in the, it was like a console game with a big, probably bigger than 48. It probably had 96-inch screen, and I think it's in the Karate Kid movie. Literally, there's you have to watch the first Karate Kid when they're at that place. But anyway, yeah. Have you seen the new Apple goggles, bro? That's probably where we're heading. They're $3,800. But they're literally going to have, the augmented reality goggles that Apple's coming out with. So I reckon that when you add that and you add a controller, right, and maybe they're going to probably, you remember Ready Player One? You know how the guy had Nolan Sorrento had his rig, where you sat in a chair. So probably you'd have to sell that at about $1,000. Gamers would buy it. You know what I mean?
They would.
I seen a guy who made himself like a Peterbilt. He made himself like an actual. It was on like gambles and it like tilted. He made himself like a Peterbilt truck to do driving simulator, bro. It had eight monitors. So he on the left he had his passenger window. That was a monitor. Then he had like 3 monitors for his driver window. Then he had another monitor over as the passenger window. Dude, I'll have to find that and send it to you.
That's of course, gamer moment for real.
That is like taking this to a next level type shit. And I'm all about that. Excuse me.
Bro.
Try to watch the algorithm with the cursing. It's just better. You'll catch the algorithm too if you limit the cursing. It's not becoming. It's not cool. You know what I mean? It doesn't make you any cooler. It just shows you have a stunted vocabulary. So,
Well, I appreciate you looking out, bro. We are gonna be we're gonna have a professional operation going on.
Yeah, and I'm here for it, man. I really am.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it, man. Inaugural stream, first one down.
Hey, man,
we're about halfway.
Season 2. Nice. I mean, I'm here for it. But back to I think that's where we're heading. You'll get something where because man. Again, when I'm playing COD Mobile, man, I'm in that helicopter. You know what I mean? You're moving through that map, and nothing else around you. Your eyes are focused on the screen, and it seems like my bulldog seems to know when I'm playing the game too. He starts chewing stuff, starts getting in trouble. I don't know if it's because my attention isn't on him, and it is funny. He's a rescue, but he's really cool. Bulldogs are a totally different breed. Well, that's just another side conversation, but they're so weird. Anyway, I think that's where we're heading. And like I said, you'll add some kind of like motion to it, and you'll feel like you're really in the game. Like you'll be going whatever, whether it's driving, shooting, sports, you'll be at that actual event. I'm looking forward to the football,
Yeah, like
not just
you feel like they're gonna take off really with the VR experiences. They're really gonna like they're gonna make it to
Where
where
else
it's like,
can we go? I think we have to move there. If
yeah,
let's just go back to what you were showing, the guys on the Commodore 64 with the jacked up monitor that didn't even
yeah,
look like it looked like the perspective of the monitor was even tilted. You know, it looked like it was in phone format than it wasn't, it was less wide. It was more tall than wide.
yeah.
So we went from there, right? And just look at what we went from flat monitors, right? Computer monitors. Look where we're at now. You could literally I could use my 70-inch TV as a computer monitor now because it's a smart TV, right?
Yeah.
And these are just things that, yeah, I think that's where we're heading.
That's so
But
perfect
let's,
that you brought that up because it's we've moved right through the list into the evolution of hardware. I mean, we touched on your the favorite games growing up. Like, obviously, you mentioned Doom as like one of the kind of like the cornerstone games for the genre. But my very first person shooter, the first person shooter I ever played was Duke Nukem, bro. The OG Duke Nukem.
okay, wasn't that, I don't really know what that is. Was that like Doom? Wasn't
Yeah,
it basically?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Same exact format. You had instead of Doom guy, you had Duke Nukem. Literally the whole same thing with like the head in the center of the screen. Duke Nukem was cool though because he was like more of like a he was like, so the Doom kind of fit like the military demographic, whereas like Duke Nukem was like if you take the same game but put like just like this like real hardcore Jean-Claude Van Damme type American badass muscle biker dude as the main character. He's just in it for beer and women, and like he's saving the world from like the pig aliens, bro. It was such a sick
Think of
game.
that propaganda too. Like, I'm sorry, like the eight Howard the Duck, like all that stuff, like
Yeah.
the biker Stone. There was a movie called Stone Cold, and and it had Brian Bosworth in it. And he played a biker. He was literally in Pensacola, Florida, right? He was like infiltrating bikers in Mississippi and like Florida or some shit. And it's just in red, what the fuck? Excuse me. Red Dawn, the
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze movie, one of the biggest pieces of propaganda ever made. Pro America propaganda. Top Gun, another one. But anyway,
Actually,
yeah, I know what you.
that's perfect segue. That's perfect segue, bro. We're gonna move into this next segment. There's a few minutes of video I wanted to show. But you can make some closing points real quick. We're not ending up yet. I just wanted to before we go into this next segment. But no, you were talking about the propaganda aspect, and that brings us perfectly into the military entertainment complex discussion. A lot of people don't know, bro, but the first-person shooter genre in particular is like intimately connected with the military-industrial complex. There's so much military money tied up in first-person shooter games. It's unreal. We're talking about millions, if not billions, of dollars in terms of research and R&D and the just the actual money for investment into games themselves. It's ridiculous how much oversight the U.S. military has in the gaming industry.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I would be almost like the way that the FBI had, they have people at Google, they have people at Twitter. I would venture a guess, and I have no, backing, that every game company has somebody from the military industrial complex on their board, whether it's hidden, whether they're CIA, DARPA, definitely DARPA. DARPA would definitely be involved in this because, again, let's move
The
to our
hardware
next
element.
our next war fighting. Yeah, and our next war fighting, dude. They said right now 70% of America are unfit, right, and will not be mentally and physically will not be able to deploy for war. So you're going to need people who are using drones, right, to drop bombs indiscriminately from 30,000 feet or even from 1,000 feet on crudely made drones. And that's what you're going to, we're watching it in Ukraine right now.
Yeah.
We're watching, what's that, the Lancet one that the Russians have. It's pretty much made of refrigerator parts from what I've heard. And so as the military industrial complex gets even more and more I mean, I would say that they're
Automated.
so advanced right now. No, advanced. Yeah, the AI part of that. If you're going to call AI automation, like we're going to reach a point where the AI will technically be able to make its own soldiers. And again, we're getting into some Skynet stuff there. I don't want to go. That's not until 2028. Skynet doesn't achieve. I'm sorry. I don't want to go John Connors on you, but I have to.
No,
I
it's
have to
okay,
go
bro.
John Connors on you.
And it's okay because it's actually like it's so relevant because these exact same themes have been popping up throughout American history. I mean, really since the close of World War II, this has been huge on the American Western paradigm. It really has been. AI,
Have you seen
advanced
War
war
Games?
fighting, everything. No, I haven't.
Oh my goodness! So we should have a movie night either in your Discord, my Discord. War Games is with Matthew Broderick, and
Yeah.
it's got a crotchety old man too. I can't Dabney Coleman. Okay, Dabney Coleman always played a crotchety old, in these '80s movies. And anyway, so they make a thing called Whopper, and it's WOPR. It's it stands for something, War Operational something, and basically the computer starts they hack in to play a game and they find global thermonuclear war. Well, it's actually something that in NORAD that they're trying. Dude, you have to watch it. It's great. Basically, they almost start a war, and then I say to myself, well, did this really happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
maybe this really did happen with NORAD. There's been a lot of time. It starts with the guys in the silos, right? Men who are actually operating in missile silos. They get a test, and one of the guys says, "Yo, I'm not turning the key," right? And they're like, "Well, wait a minute, then we can't launch these nukes." And the other guy kills the other guy in the silo, because I guess that's the protocol too. If you're a guy in these nuclear missile silos doesn't turn the key, I guess you off them. I mean, I guess I don't know. Is that treason? Don't know. I'm not in the military. Anyway, so I think that's a great movie to watch. So if you have never watched it, it deals with that. But yeah, I think that's the next iteration. Is DARPA is definitely monitoring all these gaming people. Bro, I took the kid to the batting cages the other day. Bro, there's a play, and the rent's got to be $10,000-$15,000, right, to have a place. They got a gaming place next to the batting cages, dude. Yeah. I took a picture. I'll send it to you. I don't want to dox. Don't put it on stream. But I'll send it to you privately, bro. And I'm talking about the amount of square footage that they had. They might have been spending $25,000 a year on this space that they have for gaming.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, and I thought I almost shit myself. Like, wow, people are actually paying, but they must be paying for them to. Obviously, they wouldn't be still paying their rent if they weren't making the money. So so there's definitely DARPA is involved in every aspect of gaming right now. Yeah, I would venture a guess that every board has somebody from the military industrial complex sitting on them.
For sure.
And when you get some crack shooter, you know what I mean? They start pumping them with SSRIs, and then they send them into a school. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, YouTube. Kidding. In Minecraft.
Check out. We're gonna segue into this video. This is I'm gonna do a brief segment from this video. It's from a channel on YouTube called Futura Sound Productions. Guys, please go check them out. I've been following them for a while. They're a really good channel. This video's got 37,000 views. It's 3 years old, but it's incredible. It needs 300,000 more. The video's amazing. And we're just going to watch a quick excerpt of it. But if you guys like what you see at this first part, please definitely go to this channel, Futura Sound Productions, and look at the rest of their stuff. It's gaming commentary, and it ties it back in to real life political commentary, as we're about to see. The title of this video is called Metal Gear Solid 2 and the Military Entertainment Complex. And we're going to watch a quick excerpt of it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. Are you able to see it, Todd?
Got you, bro. I'm ready to go.
All right. Of course, we actually got an ad for unrecord though, which is good. I mean, that's relevant to the chat. Unrecord is that game from, if you haven't seen it, my game Violence in, or my video Violence in Video Games. I talk about Unrecord, the hyperrealism in the graphics, the way that the animations are done, everything about it. So if you haven't seen it yet, check out my Violence in Video Games video on my YouTube channel. That being said, we're going to get into this excerpt now. This is the video from Futura Sound Productions, Metal Gear Solid 2, and the Military Entertainment Complex.
Can you hold on real quick?
Yeah, hey, what's up?
So that game is kind of where we're heading, but only, right? That was a video game we were just watching.
Yeah, Unrecord. Isn't that incredible how realistic that looked?
And so you'll be able to put yourself, right? You'll have your own skin, or you'll be able to design one, or you'll be able to buy one from like they just put the boys, so you could do you could do Homelander in Call of Duty. So it's so that you'll be able to, it'll be like Ready Player One. I just watched Ready Player One not too long ago.
Yeah.
Not in any preparation for this, just because I like the premise of where we're heading,
Yeah.
As a country, we are heading there. So anyway,
yeah.
But go ahead and play it, man. But that game is incredible, and that's where we're heading, to where you'll be so immersed in that game that you won't know the difference.
Yeah,
I hope it's not like the Matrix, where if you die in the game, you die in real life.
We'll actually talk a little bit more about that in particular after this clip, but I'm gonna go ahead and play this. It's just a short excerpt, and if you guys like it, make sure you go and check out this channel, give them a like and subscribe. They definitely deserve it. But we're gonna get into this clip real quick.
As I covered extensively in Existence Season 1, the technology behind modern 3D games, not to mention more or less all digital electronics, is originally US military made. The earliest 3D arcade games, for example, created by Sega's Yu Suzuki, were literally built on repurposed military simulation hardware, specifically the kind developed to train pilots of fighter jets. Desert Storm was history's first electronic war. It was also the first popular American war since World War II. And the huge leap forward in digital technology that followed it was, to some degree, a direct result of research projects like DARPA's SimNet, which allowed for elaborate tank battles to take place across units in a virtual environment simultaneously for the first time. Many of the battles of Desert Storm were ran in simulation beforehand, which supposedly led to their great success. Meanwhile, a close relationship also emerged in the early 1990s between the US military and shooters like Doom and Quake. Doom was actually reworked to create training software for the US Marine Corps.
I was part of the Army's Force 21 trials.
Force 21? That's about tactical IT deployment, right?
The Force 21 unit that Raiden was in was a real military paradigm in the 1990s. The idea was to use digital technology to achieve networked battlefield situational awareness, using new equipment like synthetic aperture radar, a closed-circuit internet, digital maps, and so-called tactical network integration. Force 21 was a method, a protocol, a circumstance for shaping the future context of military engagement and combat training in the 21st century. Led by TRADOC, the U.S. Army Training and Doctrine Command in Fort Eustis, Virginia, the focus for the Force 21 plan, 21 being a shorthand for 21st century, was saving money and advancing connectivity and efficacy and efficiency of force at the same time, in the same way that AI and supercomputers were now capable of being used to circumvent nuclear treaties and save money by conducting advanced simulated nuclear testing. Using digital wargame simulation technology meant the costs of training the next generation would be lower, and the ability to indoctrinate the next generation in a new military doctrine much easier. The Army Digitization Office, or ADO, came into being in 1994. According to the Institute for Defense Analyses, the ADO's purpose was, quote, to oversee and coordinate the integration of Army battlefield digitization, including the areas of programmatics, technological implementation, and doctrine, end quote. It would oversee a gradual revolution from a digitized brigade to division to an entire digitized corps, by 1999. And it would do it by advanced simulation experiments called AWS, Advanced Warfighting Experiments. AWS, by the way, is likely a reference to another doctrine that was emerging out of the Gulf War, shock and awe, also known as rapid dominance. The AWS and the Force 21 concept would mean integrating at all levels of command and control, digital information processing, architectures, the standards and protocols of which would be modeled on those from the commercial world. The goal, again quoting the IDA's report, was, quote, providing the warfighter a seamless flow of timely, accurate, accessible, and secure information, end quote.
Cover, where you're up. All right, I'm coming up behind you. Forward, take my position. You got it? Back up, back up, back up. Here we are, forward. Back up. Celia, get back there with you. Get on his shoulders. What you got?
What you've got is virtual warfare in Marine fatigues. For months, Marine fire teams have been training at computer labs in Virginia, Georgia, and North Carolina, learning battlefield tactics and decision-making.
If they spend a whole lot of time doing that in an operating environment that's kind of confusing, noisy, like a real battlefield situation would be, then they'll be that much more effective as a unit in a real battlefield environment.
With the rise of 3D, America re-entered the games industry for the first time since the crash of 1983, challenging Japan's tech industry, just as DARPA's quest for machine learning and advanced AI had tried to in the 1980s. This resurgence of an American-led games industry occurred by popularizing new kinds of video games that were, frankly, militarized, and arguably nothing short of propagandistic. In the completely artificial confines of a digital environment, the meaning of war, as publicly perceived, becomes manipulatable. In accordance with Desert Storm, which largely reframed the use of military force for the masses as something surgical, smart, and above all else, clean, video games throughout the 90s and into the turn of the century did much to facilitate the desired wider shift away from the post-Vietnam era's characteristic distrust of military force. Arguably, an entire generation, my generation, in this case of mostly boys and young men, were targeted for basically brainwashing, as image training and glorification of a version of force that seemed peaceful started up a mass process of something like basic training for digital child soldiers.
All right, that's the full excerpt that I wanted
Bro.
to cover. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, no, bro. So this gets into, and I guess we can do this. I don't want to derail too much. IIAs, and they're being ran right out of McDill in Tampa, right? And they're called interactive internet activities, right? So if you were to combine those, where basically you could go on a gaslighting campaign and basically gaslight someone into thinking they're crazy if you were using the military. And, you know, I mean, there's even something called the voice of God, where they can implant thoughts in your head, dude, using vibrations where you'll hear it, probably also with the fillings in your teeth and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your head is a hollow, it's basically an instrument, you know, the skull is.
That's part of the Project Bluebeam literature. If you look at it, they use the sonic warfare capabilities in conjunction with like the image projection and stuff like that. So yeah, no, absolutely. The ability to incept like radio frequencies essentially into your head as if they're thoughts has been around for a while. And
well, with Blue. Go ahead, sorry.
If you noticed in the video, I mean, did you see like the Oculus Rift type devices that they were using? I mean, they've had this technology for decades at this point.
Yeah, and that F-14 game is one of my favorites. It actually, that game you actually sat in it. There was two different ones. There was a standalone cabin one. But they had one that you sat in that swung probably not 180 degrees side to side, but it would swing a pretty good clip side to side. So when you banked that plane, the whole game turned. You know what I mean? So when you banked it left, it felt like you were turning. And I think that game was even 50 cents back in the day. 50, you know what I mean? It wasn't a quarter.
Yeah.
If you went and sat down and you were paying 50 cents, it was when you know, I think, video games were always no, they were a dime and stuff. back in the day, I remember they were like a dime. Then they went to a quarter per game. But yeah, I think there were dime machines, dime pinball machines, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Because pinball was huge before actual video game cabinets.
Yep.
Yeah, my dad bought a game from Seaside Heights, man. Seawolf, and it was like it was a torpedo game. We had that in our living room. Yeah. The '80s, man. Great. It was great coming up in the '80s.
Yeah, bro.
It was the greatest generation ever. Yeah, I'll fight anybody about that.
Well, I mean, if you notice, like from the video, you know, all of this kind of began in the '80s. The DARPA, like you mentioned, DARPA earlier before we even watched the clip, and then you see they get brought up with the pursuing advanced AI
and Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. We were watching laser guided bombs. And I was alive in '91 when the first Gulf War happened. We watched it on CNN, and I was 16 years old, so I understood that people were dying when those bombs were hitting. You understand? You don't really understand it because you're 16, and you're like, "Oh wow, that's cool." It's not cool. You know what I mean? There's people dying at the end of that, but.
There was also that was the same time where I remember videos coming out from after the Gulf War of like literally that, you know, drone pilots using the Xbox 360 controller. Like I remember that was the controller that they were using. Xbox was like the controller for the drone war, you know.
Yeah, it's totally nuts that I didn't even think about that, but sure. Yeah, they're using troll farms. They're using, I mean, I can only imagine the hardware that the military has right now for game playing that they're using to train people right now. I could only imagine.
Even just right back here in this video, this game right here, what's it called? America's Army is one of them, but America's Army is one game that they developed. But this is another one right here, where it's so funny. Look at this. It says, dude says, Corporal Andre Crawdaddy Devereaux loves food, women, and drink in that order. Has an opinion on just about everything. And that's made by the U.S. Army. It was put out. That's not America's Army. That's another game that they developed. But they put out a game called America's Army, and they actually had one of their biggest recruitment years since 9/11, post 9/11. Once they released that game. I mean, I even remember back when I was in high school, the recruiters that would come out and visit, they would set up their tables in the atrium. They would tell us, they were like, "You come join the military. It's just like Call of Duty." So I mean, they've got no.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, our recruiters were like, no, that like people were just getting home from the Gulf and going to the Gulf. Like I said, I was 16 in '91, so they were, you know what I mean? They were coming to lunch, but they were like, you know, we're kicking ass over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was like a different type probably than when you had them coming. Yeah, you were probably post 9/11, right?
Yeah.
So you had this little, and again after 9/11, man, we were unified for like a month. It was cool. It was. We were all like gung ho. We were holding doors for each other. We're like, "Hey, Mr. Democrat, how you doing? Hey, Mr. Republican, we're just gonna put our differences to the side and go bomb these brown people who did this." And it's like, and that's literally like, really, that's literally what it was.
Yeah.
And then cynics like myself started seeing that the American flags were made in China. And I started bringing it to people's attention, and they said I was a killjoy. I said, "Well, I'm just trying to school you to what's going on." But anyway, not to get political either. Like, don't you think right now, with the conflict that's going on, I mean, you could probably talk a few people in the bombing, like right now, like people right out of high school. You could say, "Hey, we want you to go fucking spread democracy in Ukraine."
Yeah.
And drop these bombs. I think people would willingly do it, and both sides. There's people who would do it for the other side as well.
Yep.
And I think it's kind of I think we can maybe that's what the video games are for from the military's perspective, is to desensitize us to
Absolutely.
the knowing violence. I mean, because let's go back to Vietnam, right? When the B-52 went over, you knew death was coming, right? It was going to rain, but you didn't know until after. You know what I mean? Like you didn't even know until afterwards. I don't know. What I'm saying is, it was different. It
Yeah.
was just cluster bombing. It wasn't this precision. I mean, we could put one through your window, right? You got a regular 3x3 window in
Yeah.
your house. We can put a cruise missile through that right now. We can put it through field goals. I mean, it is now with laser guided stuff. I mean, they can put it directly on top of wherever that laser goes.
Yep. And
So
then on top of it, like you were saying, with the drone warfare advancing the way that it is, I mean, there really is nothing. There's no reason why it's not going to get worse. Where these things are going to be more maneuverable. They'll be able to to reset. I can imagine that's some of the scariest stuff that I see is like the drone dogs with like the
take it up a level though. So let's go back to Bluebeam. And
yeah.
so you'll have miniature drones, let's say hand size of your hand, but they'll have small explosives on them. And they'll be moving, like they'll be as fast as those ones that they race.
Yep.
So you're just going to be standing there and boom, somebody's standing next to you, head explodes.
Yep.
And that'll be because of the shape charge that they have in the front of that drone. And you'll think it's some alien shit, some alien stuff, because we won't know of what we're being hit with, that we're just being hit with some advanced level. Just like now, like this UFO disclosure, does it not, and again, I'm not trying to derail, but doesn't it shock anybody that the government would come out and be disclosing this now?
Yeah, and then
After all this time?
then you see like there's the explosion of like super really cheap, readily available drone technology now, like right after a couple months after they announced the aliens. Now all of a sudden,
buy myself a nice drone. So I like really, yeah. After the laptop, I'm gonna invest. I think I'm gonna get me a nice drone.
oh, for sure. We've got a couple drones actually.
I bought the kid one for like $100 on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we took it out and flew it one time, and it's hard to fly. But I think with technology now, I think this is like probably 7 years ago I bought it.
Okay, yeah,
we
just got one like last year, so the one we got is pretty good.
How's the stability? Is it cool?
Pretty
like
good.
This,
The main problem with it though is that like I got to figure out how to adjust like the sensitivity on the proximity sensor, because this thing will freak out if you like try to take it on like the trail in like the woods. It has a hard time flying because of like trees and stuff, like brush.
Right.
But out in an open space, it's actually really good.
Yeah. My buddy had one of those white ones, so it was good with the you know what I mean? That had like the camera on it.
Yeah.
I don't know who made them. They were pretty good, but that, like I said, that was expensive, so I don't want to go that bad. I don't want to go that badass, but I think I do want to get one, just to fly around, just to look at stuff. You know, it's for fishing too, scouting out some fishing places.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I'm a bass fisherman, man. I love it. So,
well,
yeah.
The to kind of bring it back into the video, it mentioned in Metal Gear how it was the Force 21, the advanced IT deployment. I think that we were talking about the direction that the industry is going to go as a whole. I just thought it was important to bring up all of the connections to the military-industrial complex, because as you see at the very beginning of the clip that I showed, it's from the ground up. The whole video game industry, as we know it, is pretty much dependent on the military-industrial complex to provide not just the hardware and the software, but the funding in order to make it. So I mean, like, the real question is, I kind of asked this in some of our stuff and on Intrigue, like when I was talking about like our relationship with China and Russia and stuff like that, like as far as like the global trade network, we have a little bit of a complicity in the military industrial complex by playing and participating in video gaming. shooters as a whole, like we know for a fact that they're connected intimately with the military industrial complex, and that regardless of who's playing them when or where, there's probably money that ties all the way back to some sort of military training program. And I mean, I think we're at a situation, bro, where like the system is so massive, like the tentacles are pretty much reaching into every aspect of society. So it's like, America as a whole, like this is kind of what I was talking about in on Intrigue. But what America as a whole exports to the world as an empire is war, it's violence, and the craziest thing is that now that we've hit in this this kind of modern age of warfare, I know that we've got an epidemic of people in this country that are overweight, are physically incapable, maybe they're emotionally incapable of dealing with combat, but at the same time, we also have like the largest demographic of people who, from cradle to grave, have been consuming, wartime propaganda. I mean, as a means of entertainment, and when it comes down to it, I think they cut off the food, they cut off the supply lines, they starve us up a little bit, we lose all this extra weight, they make us hungry, they make us angry with somebody, and then they just point us in a direction, bro.
Oh, well, yeah, you could solve it in 6 months. Like every calisthenics program would easily, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you would have to be a daily, 7 days a week. People would have to get. Yeah, that's not the question. I think so. So to go back to this Force 21, which is new, I'm gonna look at it. You know me, I read all this stuff. I'm gonna be digging. I'm gonna be digging into all this stuff. But I bet you that Force 21 stands for the year 2021. And I bet you they probably got, just like Elon Musk's Neuralink. Yeah, dude, no, think about it. Because just like Agenda 21, that Force 21, they tell us it means 21st century. But they're lying because they always lie to us.
Yeah.
And that they probably have some Neuralink stuff where they probably got some dude, some SEAL who got fragged. Like, and I'm going to be kind of morbid here, and I'm sorry. Like those 13 people who got blew up in Afghanistan in 2021, right? Maybe all 13 didn't die, but maybe they stuck a Neuralink in. And again, 2021 is when that happened, right?
Well, so they hit them with like they hit us with like a Winter Soldier type situation.
Right,
so,
right. Yeah. And they implanted them. And right now, those guys are operating in Niger on a Black Op tour being remotely controlled by Bill Gates. Boom.
Bro.
Jeffrey Epstein too, because he had that ranch in New Mexico. For real, he wanted to like there's some weird stuff going on, is what I'm saying. I went full autism CTE there. Antonio Brown, well, yo man, why are you stealing my skit too? Everybody knows I've had CTE for like the last 2 years online. You can't just come and take that from me, bro. That's my shtick. Like, I was the first one to claim that and take it and turn it into a superpower. Because I got the tism, too. I got autism with CTE. So it's like, bro, I'll argue for days. Like, you and I have argued for days, right?
I know, bro. I know.
We have. So, again. And
that's why I had you on here, because I knew you'd be able to hang. I knew you'd be able to give plenty of feedback. So I knew you would keep it going for the runtime.
I think so. Yeah, listen, I truly do enjoy our interactions though too. They are good, and they are, like I said, I'm just man, I'm an obnoxious Philly guy, so sometimes I get a little bad faith to try to win an argument. But this is totally cool tonight because again, there's no winning or losing on this one. But when it's a debate setting, I do want to win. Ultra competitive too. And gaming as well. I want to win. I don't want to play the game to lose.
Yeah. So. No, exactly. I mean, we can actually bring it over to closing thoughts. I don't think I'm going to do callers tonight. There's not really anybody that's on. So I'll just end that segment early. But we can wrap up with this one a little bit early as well. I wanted to say, we're definitely gonna be doing more of these, bro. The streams I'm gonna be doing on here. Sometimes I'm gonna be talking about political stuff. Sometimes I'm going to be talking about like current events and whatnot. It's mostly going to be like topical on here on the main channel. You know, I'll give like more like in depth, like harder stances and stuff when I join you guys on Intrigue and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But for this one, like I don't mind talking about, like, obviously we're talking about like gaming primarily, but then I brought in all this stuff about the military, and you know you can't help but get a little political with it, because you know this is kind of like in that real politics space where you know this is a huge component of the machine that's operating behind the scenes, and I never hear anybody talk about like the connection between, you know, the first person shooters or really the gaming industry as a whole and the military, because you know everybody knows that like the media is like a propaganda wing, right? You know, but you know, it seems like, you know, only internet schizos have like, it seems like they've got like the exclusive claim on recognizing that, you know, Netflix TV shows and video games also have that same level of programming involved.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's all programming. I mean, who was that guy? Edward Bernays, right? But he was the like father of propaganda and telling you you need two cars, man. You need to buy her that diamond ring. If she doesn't have that diamond ring, you don't love her. Like you can look that up. Look up the diamond, how they attach diamond to love, and they push that one, and that's why they push the scarcity of diamonds too. There's plenty of diamonds in the world. They hoard them, so whatever. But yeah. Listen, again. I think you keep it here for the generics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we'll get extreme on Intrigue. You know, where we definitely will get extreme there. But I never seen that video about like I said, I knew about the McDill guys running a troll farm out of right in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Our military in 2016, they were heavily involved in that election too, on both sides. It was kind of weird. A lot of the meme. We should look up meme. You know, memeology is actually, they did a meme warfare. The government has a meme warfare department, dude.
Bro,
we don't know what level they've unleashed the meme warfare on.
We
don't know.
We do actually. And what's funny is I cannot recommend enough to everybody watching Futura Sound Productions on YouTube. Please check them out. They really do deserve it, because that the same channel, they've got one video right here, bro. It's right here in the recommended. It's called Meme, a Metal Gear Solid 2 retrospective, bro, and it's exactly about that. About how the Patriots AI, it's an AI system in the Metal Gear Solid universe. It controls the flow of information through memes, and it just puts people in the little demographic boxes, and it cycles through all of the data and the crap information, and it keeps all of the good information aggregated to itself. So then, like, it empowers certain like agents to operate on its behalf, and keeps all of the normies arguing over memes.
Yeah, the meme, and I am a meme. Anybody listening, I have probably 80,000 memes and images and 20,000 videos, which are video memes and stuff like that. I am sick with it. But what came out, and again, we don't really know to what extent the government is using this, but in 2017, not the Julian Assange, not the WikiLeaks, although WikiLeaks it does have part of this information, but the Vault 7 hack, it was the CIA's biggest hack ever, the release of information that came out. Well, they found a bunch of meme templates in this Vault 7 data. So we don't know what they're doing with the memes, what they're writing on them, okay? But they're using memes. So, I mean, I would love to come back and talk to you about that at a later
for sure.
time.
Yeah.
And we could get into memeology and how, even with and link it to the 2016 election, and the guy, Douglas Mackey, who got arrested for memes in the 2016 election. He actually just got sentenced. So yeah, we can talk about that. Yeah.
Well, you know, the Wagner group also had like a meme warfare thing.
Well, Prigozhin was a huge propaganda guy. So there's an old saying in Russia, right? They get the Pravda. Pravda is the state, whatever, media, And even the guy reading it knows it's propaganda, but he reads it and he goes, "Oh, look what I'm reading in Pravda," right? So
Yeah.
they know. But yeah, Prigozhin, listen, Prigozhin might not even be dead. Like, real talk, but he might be dead too, because we
Yeah.
knew Putin was going to kill him. Like, you don't do that. Again, like, Putin is like, how many people? He's killed 20 or 30 of his enemies, right? Normally poisons their tea or something like that. This time it was like, is anybody talking about how a missile ripped off the wing of that plane?
Yeah.
Like, nobody's even mentioning that. So obviously it
Bro,
was intentional.
I know you and Justin don't really like him, but that Jake Bro guy that I'm always linking to the DMs about just like the updates on the Ukraine stuff.
Well,
He
is he the short guy, the guy with the short videos, or the long one?
no, Peter Zion's the short
Peter
video guy.
Zion, that's the guy I like. Yeah, Zion is the one that's cool.
Jake Bro's the one. He's got the Ukraine flag on his back wall. He's like an ex-military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are like too long. They just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You know,
Too in depth.
he's hitting it for the everyday updates. He's like, that's his only thing on his channel. But like he actually called it with the Prigozhin thing. I mean, it wasn't hard to do, like you said. We know who we're dealing with Putin and stuff. But he said that basically right after Prigozhin announced the coup, he was basically saying, like, the clock's ticking on when he falls out the window, essentially.
Yeah. Everybody knew it. You just didn't know when.
He was either going to win or he was going to be falling out of the window. So
well, and again, it's just one of those things where I don't think Putin wanted to act too harsh, too quickly either, because then it looks like you're reacting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If anything, Putin, again, being KGB or SVU or whatever he was prior to him running Russia, right, or whatever it's called now, right? I don't want to misidentify them, but yeah, no. I mean, you knew that was coming. Or, there was also another school. The Telegram people were saying that it was all, like, Prigozhin was going to come in through Belarus and come in and take some of Ukraine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that way too. So that rumbling is still, but that's a poll. If you're on Telegram poll on Telegram, then you get that. You get a lot of things on there. So, but yeah, no. So I would love to come back and discuss that. Peter Zion, he's cool. I do listen to him because, again, he keeps them 5 to 7 minutes. You can bang it out in between. You know what I mean? The 30, 40-minute ones, I don't ever have that long. Because in between calling or work, you know what I mean? Sneaking a game in during work, stuff like that. Although I shouldn't say that. I never do that. I don't ever sneak a game in during
for
work.
sure.
No, definitely not. That would not be. Yeah.
Well, man,
cool.
I appreciate. Yeah, I wanted to say I appreciate you coming on for the very first stream of the season 2.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah.
Look forward to doing it. I dropped it in my server, so we'll make sure I'll do a better job next week with a heads up. For letting everybody know. So
no, absolutely.
Get some people over.
Next week, it's going to be Wednesday from 8 to 12. We're going to be streaming every Wednesday from 8 to 12. Just once, because I figure, like I said in DMs, man, it's just going to be easier while I'm getting established to do 1 a week as opposed to 2.
It is a time thing, too. Like, I really don't... It is incredible. I can only imagine how much time you spent you're making music. You're doing so much. Congratulations on that.
I appreciate it, man.
I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. I know what I was doing just making those sports videos, just ripping clips, putting them together, adding music to them. It was just,
Yeah.
It's hours just to do that. So let alone watching the videos. So no, I take my hat off to what you're doing, and I look forward to doing it again. I'll be here. You let me know, and I'll hang. I enjoy our conversations, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming.
They're good.
And I wanted you to, if you want to go ahead and plug your COD handle and just talk about. I know you were talking about eventually wanting to get into doing videos for it.
I am going to eventually get into, and I guess I'll put them on Kick and Rumble. I mean, maybe some stuff on YouTube. Yeah, we'll throw some on YouTube too. Handle is GurillaTodzilla. You've probably been killed by me if you play COD Mobile. If you haven't, stay tuned. 'Cause I'm coming for you. Just hang in there. I use Guerrilla Tactics. That's where the gorilla comes from. It's Gurilla, Todzilla, Todzilla, and that's because of the character limiting. You know, you only get so many characters. Or I would have spelled it GUE, the gorilla, that way, because that's how I win. Again, I'm going to post the grind today because again, it was solo squads too, which I'm happy about. I love when I win solo squads.
Nice.
I didn't try to. I got plugged in solo squads. I was trying to get a teammate. Sometimes you don't always get a teammate. Like I said, I guess because you know the way the numbers work out. Sometimes you're dropped in alone. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna start making some videos. I'm going to either just put my audio over them. That's probably what I'm going to do for right now. I'll tell you, you know, the iCloud people are like holding me hostage over old like 2019 games. So I guess I'm going to pay their ransom and then start editing the videos. Yeah, I really don't want to do it. It's $30, but it's like, for me, it's a principal thing. It's not even, you know, I blow that on video games all the time. But it's like they're trying to charge me for coins from like 2019. And it's like, I didn't know you guys fronted coins. I don't think that's the way. I use gift cards, though. So, again, they probably tried to sign me up for like the monthly $7.99 thing, right? Yeah. And I probably did click it. I probably did. But, again, I was using a gift card because I'm not giving you my debit card. I don't ever put that online. You know what I mean? I buy gift cards. Even sending super chats to people, buy gift cards, guys. They're just like cash. Buy them with cash. Anyway, so GurillaTodzilla, like I said, if you haven't been killed by me, stay tuned. I snipe. Yeah, I'm going to hit you from far away. I'm going to drop smoke. I'm going to throw concussion grenades, frags, clusters, everything I got at you. So, and yeah, it will be in a guerrilla tactic. So, hence the name. Anyway, awesome. I want to thank you for having me. Thank you for the plug. And yeah, I will. I'm going to start making some shorts and doing some things with it because I have a lot of gameplay capture. So, and like I said, doing some voiceover, a little autism, bro, a little CTE autism. So CTEism. So that's what I like to call it. And you know, just ramblings of a madman. You know.
Nice.
So.
For sure, yeah, man. And once you get them posted, I'll repost them and stuff. So just
I know you will. You're really good with that, so I appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for having me. And I will see you next week. And we'll let me know in the DMs what we're going to discuss, so I get some stuff ready too.
Awesome. All right, man.
All right, homie. You got it, brother. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too, bro.
You too. Bye.
Yeah. All right, awesome, guys. Thank you so much for an excellent stream. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate up to 4. I saw 4 concurrent viewers. That's big. That's big for me. Very first stream. I wasn't expecting hardly anybody to watch. And it ran. It ran for 2.5 hours, guys. This is very awesome. Successful stream. I'm going to consider it a successful stream. So thank you so much for an amazing night. Thank you for hooking me up, checking out my stream. If you're watching the playback, I really appreciate it. And be sure to tune in every Wednesday from 8 to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be streaming between that time bracket. I might not always run the 4 hours. I might sometimes run over the 4 hours. It really just depends on what we've got going that night and who's calling in, who's coming on the show. I appreciate it. Got more material planned for the future, guys. Got a lot more planned. We've already got a lot of videos done for Season 2. They're scheduled for upload. They're ready for you guys to check them out as soon as the days hit. Every single Monday, brand new music video from yours truly. Every single Wednesday from 8 to 12 Eastern Standard Time, streaming, doing a live stream every single Wednesday. Every single Friday, we're doing a Friday feature, guys. Tomorrow's Friday feature, have first-person shooters peaked. Tomorrow's first-person shooter peaked. Friday feature is first-person shooters peaked, guys. We're going to follow up with some of the stuff that we talked about tonight. It's going to be a good time. It's 15 to 20 minutes on our Friday features. That way you guys have something to look forward to at the end of the week. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the first one of many. We got many more coming. Hope you guys have a great night. You guys have a good night. Thank you so much. Love you.